Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday. What are we at? The 10th of June already. Man, this year's going by. Looks like we're halfway through the year. This is going to be a great session today. We're going to talk about influencers, what they are. We're going to define them. I'm going to show you how you can use them for your business. So make sure you stick to the very end so you know what to do. Simple stuff, guys. Also, you know what else is really simple? Hit that subscribe button down there. That's right. Turn it from red to gray. Don't forget to do that. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a video, which I do every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I go live on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Gosh, that's like every day of the week, isn't it? There's something every day of the week. You can't miss out. All this great free content, pretty cool stuff. So, influencers, what the heck is that? Is that some kind of celebrity? Is that going to cost me $1 million? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, for the most part, influencers are not celebrities. Now, could some of them be celebrities? Yes, I guess that's possible. Let me click on my screen here so I can see what I'm talking about, look at some of my notes. It's really becoming a mainstream thing now. Influencers actually are being used more and more and more. Many businesses are now trying to use influencers, and it's working out for them. To the extent that this is typical for any innovation, there will always be trendsetters, okay, followed by the mainstream users, and finally, the laggards who finally get in there. So, guys, you need to get in here now. You need to use these people now. And they're super cool people. Influencer marketing is so much more than celebrity marketing. It isn't marketing, excuse me. It isn't just an up-to-date version of, George Foreman grills or something like that, or Justin Bieber, or, or Johnny Depp. I guarantee you he's going to be an influencer right now. But influencer marketing involves using online experts to promote suitable products to their audience. Okay, so let's look at this a little bit more. While you can go to an influencer marketing agency to create your campaigns for you, in a similar way, advertising agencies operate traditional campaigns. There are also other, usually cheaper options for running your influencer campaign. So I want to cover those today because a lot of you guys, you want to save some money, right? You'd like to get it on the ground floor, but you want to save some money. So this session today, I'm really going to try to show you how you can use influencer marketing to grow your own business. No matter what size your business is, if you're tiny and you got a little bit of money, you can still use influencer marketing. Still pretty cool stuff. And guys, don't forget, use that chat box there. Ask me questions. Doesn't matter if I'm talking. I'm going to keep looking over here. I've got this, see here, iPad right here. I got that going on. And this iPad, I can see when your comments come up and I can answer them. I can post up here. So don't forget to do that. So what is influencer marketing? All right, as you would imagine, influencer marketing involves businesses partnering with people of influence to help them with their online marketing. Quite simply put, an influencer is somebody with the power to affect the purchase decision of others. An influencer can do this because that person has this authority, knowledge, a certain position within a niche, and a special relationship with their audience. Influencers usually have a significant following in a niche or topic and actively engages with them. Now, an influencer could be extremely well known within that niche and the rest of the world doesn't know anything about it, okay? So it's not necessarily that they're famous. Although influencer marketing grew out of celebrity marketing, it is a very different thing. Modern influencer marketing is so much more than a movie or music or sports stars pushing, some unconnected products, which they normally do. It's like, it's so funny when I see a celebrity talking about, I don't know, a cell phone carrier. I'm like, what do they do about cell phones? They don't know anything about them, right? So these influencer people actually have a different type of relationship. So many people misunderstood this point that it's really worth emphasizing. Influencer marketing is not celebrity marketing. It's not some, person that you see in the movies. Influencers are specialists whose followers have an interest in the same subject. They are not superstars with lots of, indifferent fans, which is what most movie stars are, right? Influencers spend considerable time building their brand and cultivating their audiences. If influencers understand how your product could benefit their followers, they may be happy to work with you. However, Influencer marketing will only work if you sell a quality product. Don't sell junk. Okay. That's not the point. The point is to improve people's lives. If your product is, a shoddy, substandard or worse than your competitors, then nothing is going to make repeat sales for you. Okay. You don't want to do that. So let's look at influencer marketing versus content marketing. Influencer marketing is all about delivery. Brands with prominent people in their market segment to distribute content. Okay. Dusty's got a comment. Let's throw him up here on the screen. What's going on, Dusty? Dusty says, I have practically no money, but I need help finding people that can help and also share in the profits when the money comes in, rather than have it be conditional and have them want money up front. I get what you're saying, Dusty. Hey, I've been there. I started my company in 2009 with $100 on a credit card. Okay. So most people who start online don't really have the money to spend on some of these things. However, if you can scrape together a little bit of money, these things can really benefit you. I always I always get a kick out of these people. They'll come to me, they'll say, well, JR, I got this great idea and I know you could promote it and I know you'd be good at it. And I'll tell you what I'll do. If you promote it and you help me build this business, I'll give you half the profits. Now, on the surface, that sounds really interesting, right? But then think about it. If I know how to promote this product, if I know how to build an audience around this product, why in the world would I do that and give them half the profits? I would just do it on my own. So it's really tough to approach people with the idea that, hey, I'm going to give you half my money or 80% of my money or whatever you generate, I'm going to give you a portion of it, because they know that they already have the ability to promote things and make money. They'll just do their own products. Okay. Unless you've got some type of specialized software or you've got a patent on a product that nobody else has. If it's just something anybody can do, then in effect, they're not going to want to do it. Okay. So you got to keep that in mind. And I don't know what your product is, but I just want you to think about that. Content marketing is really a wider thing. It occurs when a company's create and distribute relevant, valuable content. The content is produced to attract and engage their audience. Content marketing really covers the entire process of creating, distributing, and using content to meet your business goals. So it is different than influencer marketing. Content marketing uses a variety of methods to share content and raise visibility. One of the most effective ways to use influencer marketing is to distribute content. The influencers will often create the content they share, so there is some overlap, but ultimately, influencer marketing is simply one of the best distribution methods for content marketing. So they do kind of overlap. So you got to ask yourself, let's see here. Paul's just got to come in there. Let me pop him in. Dusty, I hope that helped you out a little bit there. Let's move over to Paul here. Paul says, in the survival food niche, are there influencers? Absolutely. And the type of influencers that are used are ones that basically are survivalists. People who, can survive in the woods, or maybe they've been on a survival show or something like that. That would be considered an influencer. Now, influencers really help more startup businesses than they do established ones. We've been around since 2010. So 12 years I've had Survivalcave food. So we don't use influencers so much. Not to say that they wouldn't help us or do good for us, but we have a pretty established brand. I mean, I woke up this morning and I had thousands of dollars made in my survival food company before I even went to get my hot tea at Starbucks. Okay. So we don't necessarily need to do that at this point. Not that it would hurt, but I mean, we're rolling along pretty good. So we don't have to do that. This is when I'm talking about this today, I'm more talking about somebody who wants to build a brand, something like that. There are multiple levels of help you can expect from influencers. So I want to talk about all those. The amount and types of assistance you can expect depends on the kind of relationship you have with influencers. Clearly, you can expect more from somebody with whom you have a paid working relationship than somebody who is just helping you or doing you a favor. Okay, so you gotta kind of look at that, and that's what Dusty was talking about just for a second. Let's see here, what else we got here? It's your product. Oh, okay. So Dusty says, I want to promote Survivalcave food and use influencers. You could definitely do that. The problem with that is if you're not paying them, if you're saying, hey, I'm going to give you, 50% of what I make or whatever, they could just become an affiliate of mine and do it on their own. And a good influencer understands that. They understand that concept. That's why that may not work for you. I mean, you can certainly try. I'm not going to say it doesn't work. I'm just going to tell you that's the obstacle you can run into. Thoughts on doing a content white paper to get visibility in a magazine that might be considered an influencer magazine? Well, I mean, yeah, you could certainly do that. Magazines. Wow, not too many people read magazines anymore. If you're talking about the physical one, not too many people read them. They read a lot of online magazines, and that may be a good spot, but then you're really not talking a magazine. I mean, they call them magazines, but they're not really a magazine per se. So, I mean, you could do it. So I want to kind of go over the typical ways influencers could help you. And they include things like creating an article or a blog post or a video about your product or service. That's a good way to do it. Sharing information, promoting you on their social media accounts. For example, publicizing an article you have written on your blog. So maybe they're going to talk about, hey, go over to Survivalcave Food, read this blog. Giving you access to their site so you can write a guest post. Maybe you want to write something on their site. That's something you could also do. You don't have to just write on your site. Posting pictures on Instagram or videos on YouTube, showing them using your product. That can be pretty cool, and that works very well. Writing or filming promotional items for your brand, they can do that. You can't expect influencers to provide you with, some great praise over your product if they don't know it and they haven't used it. They only have an influence status because they have established an authentic relationship with their audience. So no BS, guys. Okay. You don't just pay people to say things that aren't true. So what are your goals? There's no point in engaging in influencer marketing just because you read somewhere that it was trendy. Okay. You need to know why you are carrying out your influencer marketing campaign. This will affect how you measure the success of your campaign as well as your choice of influencers. Very important that you figure this out. You need to tie each one of these goals with a particular key performance indicator or a KPI. You hear this thing KPI all the time. And see how you could benefit from doing that. So some of the goals could be increasing your product sales by a set percentage amount. Okay, that would be a goal. Increasing your brand's visibility and getting people to know more about your company. Increasing your mentions online. Maybe it's a social listening software engagement statistics on your social media. Increasing your brand's social media followers. How many more followers do you want to get? Increasing followers to your firm's account during this campaign. Or maybe you just want to increase the number of visitors that come to your site, knowing that some of them are going to, end up turning into buyers. You could do that. The first thing you're going to have to do is to find your target audience. Who is your target audience? Another problem faced by businesses is that they don't even know who they should be targeting. It's kind of funny. They're like, I want to advertise, but I don't know who to advertise to. If you already know who your ideal target customer is, keep that persona in mind and make sure you're developing thing that is going to be consumable by them, right? And search for influencers who are talking to that audience. If you've tried a successful PPC or pay-per-click campaign on Facebook advertising in the past, take a close look at how targeted those campaigns were. For influencer marketing to be successful, you need to work with the influencer who influence your target audience. So they've already got to have an in with them. You need to select influencers whose audience matches your target audience. So who would that be? Let's see here. Let me put some of these customers. Okay, let me put, okay, I got comments here. I want to put them up here. Let's see here. Okay, this is from Dusty. Dusty says, no, I mean your automated webinar on ClickBank that I already paid into. Oh, you could definitely do that. And that does make sense. And you're going to get a better response if you're willing to pay somebody to do it. You could do a combination. You could do a lower payout. You could say, look, I'm going to pay you $500 to talk about this course. And of all the people that buy it, I'll give you 50% of my commissions. Okay. So that may be an avenue. If you do these like double payout things, it makes them a little bit more interesting. They're like, wow, I'm going to get money anyhow. So I'm assured I'm going to get some money. But in addition to that, I'm going to get, a portion of what this person sells. Paul says, I found that meeting influencers at events helps. I met this guy on a cruise who sells survival foods. I know what you're getting at, Paul. I get what you're talking about. Yes, I do sell survival food, but I also sell courses on Facebook ads. I also sell courses on digital marketing, on drop shipping, on email systems. I sell courses on a lot of different stuff, Let's see. I want to promote your automated webinar on marketing. Yes, definitely. You can do that. But like I said, you probably want to do some type of upfront payout and a portion of whatever you sell on there. That combination works really, really well. So what type of influencers should you trust? Okay, that's another big thing, right? We tend to group influencers according to the size of their following, but it ain't just that, okay? You get too hung up on that. You get too hung up on numbers. You don't need to work with the biggest influencers. That's not the point, because some of the biggest influencers who have 3 or 4 million people following them, they don't have a very tight relationship with them. But you can have an influencer who has 4,000 or 5,000 people that really believe in everything they say, and you could get better results with that person. You don't need to work with the biggest influencers, just the best influencers for your market. So I want you to kind of think of it that way. The most common ways that we group influencers and we think about them are, first off, we think of nano influencers. Okay. So a nano influencer is probably at the smallest stage. They're going to have anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 followers, but who have active audiences, who show leadership in narrow niches. The next one is called micro influencers. Okay. These are typically industry experts with smaller followings than the macro. Okay. But influencers usually with 10,000 to maybe 100,000 followers. They know their subject well, they're passionate about it. They have built tremendous trust with their audience. And their cost is less than a mega or a micro influencer. Most successful influencer marketing utilizes these micro influencers, these 10,000 to 100,000 followers. Then we get into the higher level. This is going to be the macro influencers. These influencers have a large engaged audience, and they work well for brands looking to advertise to a specific niche. However, they're often leaders in the niche, and they may be difficult to contact, and they could be expensive. They often work through agents and are relatively expensive. Okay. But you can pick and choose them if you want. And then the next stage in the top of it is celebrities. These are mega influencers, usually with at least 1 million followers or subscribers, and at least one social media platform, but they could have plenty of them too. Their content reaches a vast audience quickly, and they lack a real connection with their followers. Let's face it, you can't, if you've got 3 or 4 million followers, be very tight with those people. Now, there's 3 methods you can follow to run an influencer. Let's see. I got a couple comments here. Let me jump over that. Dusty's got another one. My buddy Dusty. Let's check you out here. There, I got Dusty's comment. Good morning, everybody. The Queen's with him. What's going on? Good to see you here. Let's see. Dusty says, that's a great idea. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Queen's with him. What you got to say? I heard that it's better to work with smaller influencers. Just work with a lot of them. Yeah, I mean, I honestly believe if they're engaged, and that's the key. You want to talk about their engagement when you talk to them. But if they're engaged, I would much rather have 10, micro influencers with 9 or 10,000, followers than, with 90. Then you're reaching 90,000 people. Than to have one with 90,000 that doesn't have a good engagement with those people. I think that's a much better idea to do that. So yeah. Now, how can you use these influencers? Well, there's several different methods. There's the organic method. So initially, the only way you could undertake an influencer marketing campaign was to use the organic method to find influencers. Although you obviously will still have to pay many influencers, you don't have to pay anything to discover your influencers or manage the campaign. Whereas if you use some agency, you will. With the organic method, you can carry out all of your influencer selection, management, and analysis internally. You don't have to access most paid tools. You have to build a relationship with these influencers. That's what you've got to do. Now you'll find some free tools that you can help find influencers on, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. TweetDeck has one, Mozbar has one. And you can also use platforms, different platforms to figure it out. Facebook, YouTube, that type of thing. And there are many platforms really that offer a range of tools to help you operate your influencer campaigns. You can find platforms providing the following services. Let's say influencer content amplification, third-party analytics, influencer marketplace, campaign management, influencer discovery, relationship management, all those things. Now you can also outsource your influencer marketing campaign to an agency. Some firms prefer a hands-off approach to their influencer marketing, but like they do traditional advertising. If that describes you, then you should consider working with influencer marketing agencies. They're pretty good. The agency will do most of the legwork involved in finding suitable influencers, for your brand, and they run your campaign for you. You will still need to define your goals. You'll, got a little frog in my throat. Let me get a drink here real quick. Yes. Okay. Let me get some more of these comments up here, guys. Paul, looks like Paul's got one here. This is a newer comment. I like how Lewis Howes got on a big influencer show. His appearance on Ellen took him from 250,000 followers to 2.5 million. Cool to get the Ellen or Oprah bump offline. Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you could do that, obviously that's very tough to do that, but you can do it. So that's possible. Queens Within says a smaller influencer seems more interpersonal than a larger influencer and the cost is less. Yeah. And you'll be surprised. Some of these people will do something for you for 50 or $100. I mean, it's pretty amazing how cheap you can get some of these. And they just do a lot of them and they make money. Maybe it's a short mention or something like that. Any influencers would recommend now to help people in the webinar? I wouldn't because that would kind of be, I don't know, crossing the line. I'm going to put it like that. But they're out there. There's certainly a lot of them out there, Dusty, and easy to find. They really are. People equals promote. Definitely, for sure. The more people you have out there talking about your stuff and promote your stuff, the better off you are. Now, how are you going to engage in influencer outreach? An advantage of working with an agency is that you don't have to do anything, right? To find these influencers, you pay the agency to perform this for you. Also, some of the platforms help you reduce the need for influencer outreach, particularly those with an influencer marketplace, which shifts the focus onto influencers finding brands rather than vice versa. Also, some platforms recommend pre-vetted influencers who have already indicated their willingness to work with suitable brands. What they do is they go into these agencies and they say, yeah, I'm into basketball, I'm into sports, I'm into weightlifting, whatever it is. And then that agency will go out and try to find companies that have listed their company there and match them up, which is pretty cool. But it's also a good step, for you to go out and you want to find some influencers, go ahead and do it yourself. Once you've created a list of valuable influencers for your brand, you need to go through the slow and steady steps of building relationships with your potential influencers. Remember, these people, these influencers, are not there to serve you. Okay, they're there to serve their audience. No matter how big or well-known your company is, it does not mean that an influencer or his audience want to have an interest in you. I had Nike contact me and they wanted me to do some stuff for Nike and they were willing to pay some decent money. But the thing is, Nike has nothing to do with what I do. Believe me, I wanted the money, but I couldn't figure any angle where Nike matches up with Survivalcave food or J.R. Fisher training. I couldn't figure it. It didn't work. We didn't do it. I didn't even respond to them. You're going to have to spend time building these relationships. Okay. This could be time consuming. You will need to resist any pushes from above for a quick fix. This is the thing that newbies always hit me with is they want quick money. I got to have my money now. I need my money right now. How can I get my money right now? If it was quick, guys, everybody would be rich. It takes time. It takes effort. You got to do this stuff. You want to study your selected influencers, try to determine what makes them so popular. Why do so many people choose to follow, engage with them? What is the deal with them? That's something interesting. Man, we got a lot of comments here. Let me put some more up here, guys. Guys, let's see here. All right, what we got here? What we got here? Show everything will help you and me. Don't hold back. Definitely, it will. But publicly, I can't recommend an influencer. I can't do that. Let's see. By having a podcast or blog where you can interview the influencer on their projects or books helps build relationships. Pay it forward first. Hey, Paul, have you done that? I know you were talking about doing a podcast. Did you ever do that podcast? Whatever happened with that? Fill me in and let me know. And I know we all get busy. I'm not putting you on the spot or anything, but let me know. Are you doing that? Did you ever do that? Queens Within says, I think you should contact Nike. Maybe Nike was to diversify. Yeah, I don't. I'll tell you that the biggest thing that holds me back at this point from doing more, creating more, getting influencers or running ads or anything is that we have a good income. We have a good income. So I'm really selective about what I do because there's too many opportunities. When I first got started, I remember sitting in my warehouse going, how in the world do I get my name out? How in the world, what can I do to affect today's business? And I would beat my head against the wall trying to figure it out. Now it's a matter of, we've got a lot of business, we've got a lot of money coming in, things are really good. Which things that present themselves to me on a daily basis, which they do I want to get involved in? Which ones, should I really spend time on? Is it worth it for me to spend time on these things? So that's my big decisions that I have to make on a daily basis now is I've got a lot of opportunities. Do I want to mess with them? Now, think about this for an approach to an influencer outreach. Subscribe to the influencer. Do that, okay? Their blogs, their social media and all that. So you need to get involved, okay? And then reply to introductory emails they may send. You're more likely to receive these when you sign up for their blog rather than their social media channel. So you want to get on their email list and see what's going on. You want to share some of their posts, okay? They're going to see that you shared them. Respond to any questions your influencers ask their supporters. So maybe they put, like I'm doing a video right now, and I'm going to say to you guys, have you used influencers before? Have you used them? I want you to put that in the chat. I want you to put that in the comment section if you're not watching this live. And I go back and I see that and I start to notice those people. And when I notice those people on down the road, if they want me to promote something, I'm probably going to do it because they've been around. You want to respond to any of their questions that they post, like I just did. So those of you who want to get involved, you may want to respond. Comment on your influencers' post in social media statuses, okay? Let them see, and don't just go, oh, cool, or that's neat. Actually write out a sentence or two so they know that you're actually watching what they have. Link to your influencer's post. Write a, what we call ego bait post, which includes the influencer who you are focusing on. Reach out to your potential influencers after you've done all that stuff. You've got to put work into this stuff, guys. There's no secret formula, okay? Don't ask influencers how they can help your brand. Figure out how your brand can help influencers. Everybody does this wrong. You need to explain the benefits. You need to provide specifics. You need to create deadlines. You need to actually do something, okay? Now you could begin an email if you're emailing them with things like, I've got free stuff I'd like to give your audience. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Or you could say, I want to talk more about your, whatever it is, post that you're doing. So maybe to do a post on playing pool or gambling in Vegas or whatever it is. Make sure you put that in there. Or you could say, I am a, and then put something that you guys have in common also. So, maybe I'm a survivalist too, and I really like some of the stuff you said. You could say something like, I think we should collaborate on your, say something that the influencer cares about. So maybe it's a makeup line. I think we should collaborate on your makeup line sales, and maybe I could do something to help you. Or you could say, I have a promotional sample that I want to give you, and so that you could look it over. Maybe you could review it for me. So you want to actually do something that's going to help the influencer. And I want you to also, before we end today, I want you to think about different ways that you can collaborate. Let's see here. I think all right, let me put some of these other comments up here, guys. I'm seeing them off to the side. It says, I completely understand. Thanks. Good. Thank you, Dusty. Currently getting material in the can as Oh, and getting ready to launch. Good. I've been fortunate to meet and promote other influencers who have agreed to future interviews. Get it going, Paul. Get it going, buddy. Come on, man. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. By the way, we'll be reaching out to you in future for an interview. Okay, no problem, buddy. I'll do it. You know, you support me, I'll support you. Now, if a random person who I don't know contacts me and says, I want to do an interview on my channel, and they don't have that many followers or anything, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And it's not because I don't want to help them. It's because from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, I have things I can do. And it doesn't fit in there if I don't know them and they haven't helped me along the way and I don't see a big audience. I mean, it just doesn't work. So that's why I turn down those things. Let's see, Queens Within. Can we get some tips on how to evaluate an influencer so our brand does not get involved in, was it disrepute? Yeah, there's a lot of these agencies and you can go to these agencies or there's a lot of sites and you can go to them. There's one that is for YouTube, and I can't think of what it is. Let me see. YouTube influencer. I'm going to look this up real quick. YouTube, because this is a really good one, and then I'll tell you what they do. Influencer agency. Okay. All right. Let's see. These are some of the ones you can use, guys. These are the top influencer marketing agencies. Viral Nation is a good one. Let me pull these up real quick. Viral Nation is a good one. The next one I would tell you about is Ubiquitous. Ubiquitous is a good one. I would check that out. Now, the reason I tell you to go to these agencies is because they rank. You can find an influencer in there and it will show you how many tweets they do, how many posts they do, what their level of interaction is. And that's a really great way to vet some of these things. So that's what I would suggest you do. There's also the Influencer Marketing Factory. Fan Bites is a good one. That's Bites, B-Y-T-E-S. Obviously is another good one. Obviously they're good. Higher Influence is a good one. There's a ton of them out there, guys. Now, these are all YouTube ones. August United is a good one. I'm just thumbing through some of my notes here. The Out Loud group is a good one. So any of those I would suggest, you check it out. Let's see here, Paul, some influencers I met because I made comments on their great products. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. If you get involved with them by putting comments or interacting with them, you're going to get a response. I've got to know Jim Edwards of Copy Secrets book because I thought his book was that good. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, and Paul is practicing what I'm preaching right now. I'm saying you got to get involved. And it's like right now, check out Paul. Paul is putting comments there. Check out the Queens Within. She's putting comments there. Check out Dusty. He's putting comments there. Guys, these are the things you have to do. Those of you who are watching me who never comment, you never subscribe, you never give me a thumbs up, you don't do anything, you're not going to do as well. It's just a fact. You got to get involved. Let's see, Viral Nation, Ubiquitous, Fan Bites, obviously, Higher Influence, August Nation, the Out Loud group, got it. Thank you so much for posting that. I couldn't do that when I was talking. I couldn't post that, but that was kind of you to do that. What's Paul got to say here? Paul's got to say 3 great events to meet and talk with influencers is Podcast Movement, Funnel Hacker Live, and Vid Summit. Yeah, and I've been to some of those. I haven't been to the podcast one, but yeah, it's a great place to meet people. Undoubtedly, it's a great place to meet people. What you have to do is decide where you're going to put your time. Your time is incredibly valuable, guys, incredibly valuable. I had somebody who's a friend of mine who used to work for me for years. And this person bought my course and they didn't complete it. And I was like, wow, you didn't complete it. And then, a year or two later, this person wants to make money online. And they were asking me, what's a good book that will explain everything to them? I said, there isn't one. It doesn't exist. You need to get involved. You need to do something. There isn't just one book. And number one, check out my stuff. You bought my stuff from me. Why don't you use what you paid for? So I see a lot of people who want results. They want to do all these things, but they don't want to put forth the effort. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to comment. They don't want to interact. Guys, right now you're watching me. Make sure you comment. Make sure you interact. This stuff is so important. It's going to get you going. That motion of rolling, even if you're rolling in the wrong direction, you can always steer. But if you're sitting still, nothing's going to happen. Let's see here. The Queens Within at Paul Savage. Thanks, Paul. Yes. There you go. You guys interact on here. You're going to meet people on here because we're a group of like-minded people. So that's what I've got for you today. And I'll tell you what else I've got for you today. If you follow me on Facebook, I'm going to a restaurant today that actually was started in 1952. This is before I was born. There's not too many things that happened before I was born. But anyhow, this particular restaurant was started in 1952. I'm going to post pictures of the restaurant. I'm going to tell you where it's located. I'll even put the address. I'll go ahead and check in there, put the address. But the food there is incredible. Guys, you got to check this place out. 1952, they started this restaurant. So how old is that now? So that is what, 48, 58, 68. That's 70 years old. At a restaurant that's 70 years old. Let's see here. I got a couple more comments before I get out of here. By the way, binge watching your videos is a great way to learn skills. Yeah, just go through them. And you can also do it by subject. I have playlists in there. You can pick a playlist on a particular subject and just work on that. I think that's a great thing to do. I only share with you things I've done that work. That's it. Okay. The stuff I'm talking about right now, I've done and it works. Sometimes people get overwhelmed with all the info out there that they never decide on anything and never start. Yeah, I did a post yesterday, and it was basically, I was saying to everybody, stop trying to figure out new ways to do a thing and just do the thing. Just get in there and get involved. And that's what I tell people, man, get in there and get involved. And it's funny because like the person I was telling you about that wants to make money online, and this person's very motivated, but they haven't done anything yet. Is they haven't done anything. That's the whole key. They haven't done anything. They aren't getting involved. They aren't doing anything. And they aren't asking questions, because I could say to that person, hey, what questions do you have about, let's say, SEO? And they're like, I don't know much about it yet. Well, until you get involved, until you start studying it, until you start trying to do these things, you're not going to even have the right question. You're not even going to know what questions to ask. That's the thing that kills me about newbies. They don't even know the questions to ask. You got to learn something to move forward. So important you do that. All right, so check me out on Facebook. I'm going to check in at that restaurant. We're going to have a great lunch. You guys can share in it, check it out. Love you guys. I really appreciate your input. This has been a great session. You guys have been awesome. Next week, I will be live on, I think, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll check my schedule, but pretty much I think that's what's going to be going on. Let's see. How did your move go to Austin? Buddy, Dusty, I am here now. I'm in my new studio. I'm looking out all over my backyard. We're getting more and more furniture in here because the house was a lot to furnish. And I am going to be doing a video. A lot of people ask me, when are you going to do a video of your house? I'm going to be doing one. Got a couple more rooms I want to decorate and just kind of show you this house. But we love it. Beautiful house. We had a good builder. Still getting some odds and ends done, but I think you'll like it. And I'm going to be doing that very soon because we have our family room done now. Jessica's office is getting done. We still don't have a dining table. We got to get a dining room table. I haven't found one I liked. We got our bedroom done. We've got the guest room done. My office is not done, but it's usable. I got to get some cabinets and stuff on the wall and stuff like that. But I will be doing a video of this house right here that you're looking at right now. This is my, what do you call this? I guess it's my office. They called it a game room when I built the house, but it's got windows all the way around. It's really beautiful. I think you guys would enjoy it. If you're interested in that, put something in the comment section. Say, hey, I'd like to see your house. That way I know you're participating. Also, I'll know you're participating if you give me a thumbs up. I need some thumbs up, guys. Haven't been seeing that happen today. Give me a thumbs up. Click that thumbs up. I'll give you a second. Okay, did you get it done? Did you give me a thumbs up? I want to see them popping up on here. Okay, super important that you do that. I don't see them popping up. Need to have that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Turn it from red to gray, and don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a video. Guys, you've been awesome today. Great session, and I will see you on Monday morning. Goodbye.